Some people consider us an internet company, but that makes us cringe. Internet companies are known for hiring compulsively, spending wildly, and failing spectacularly. That's not us. We're small, frugal, and profitable. A lot of people say we can't do what we can do. They call us a fluke. They advise others to ignore our advice. Some have even called us irresponsible, reckless, and gasp unprofessional. These critics don't understand how a company can reject growth, meetings, budgets, boards of directors, advertising, salespeople, and the real world yet thrive. That's their problem, not ours. They say you need to sell to the Fortune 500. Screw that. We sell to the Fortune 5 million. They don't know how you can have employees who almost never see each other spread out across 8 cities on 2 continents. They say you can't succeed without making financial projections and 5-year plans. This is the introduction from WeWork by David Heiner Hanson and Jason Fried. And yeah, I've been a big fan of these guys, I think for like a decade. Mostly their lifestyle, but also their principles to building a business. Just cool. I think it's really cool. They're profitable from day one. No outside investors. They retain control. So that's definitely something I aspire to do. Now, the reason I'm doing this episode is because I made a commitment to myself that I'm gonna do 4 books and see where it's gonna take me. This was the 4th book. This is one of my favorite non-fiction books, I would say. It's always inspirational. It always gives me good advice. Now, I'm also the way I'm doing it is I read it today. I reread it today. I reread the whole book today, and the day hasn't passed, and I realized like, okay, I'm gonna read the book today. This is my constraint. They talk about constraints. It's good to have constraints. And I'm going to do the video and episode today as well. And I'm going to upload it today. Yeah, and this ties to why wait, inspiration is perishable. And I'm going to get back to that. And by the way, rereading this book today, maybe it's like 3rd, 4th time I've reread it. But it's really cool. It's really cool because now that I've been reading a lot of other books as well, and it's kind of like it all comes together. Like these guys are my heroes in a sense, and it's just really cool to see how all of these ideas are very tied together, and all of these people are tied together in a way. Like Naval, James Dyson is in this book, and so forth. And as you can see it. I'm doing this episode outside in nature because I just felt like I had to get out of the house. Yeah, so let's get back to it. Avoid planning, yeah, okay. Now avoid planning. That's what they say. I'm gonna read it through. Now this isn't. You say you shouldn't think about the future or contemplate how you might attack upcoming obstacles. That's a worthwhile exercise. Just don't feel you need to write it down or obsess about it. If you write a big plan, you'll most likely never look at it in any way. Plans are more than a few pages long, just wind up as fossils in your file cabinets. Decide what you're going to do this week, not this year. Figure out the next most important thing to do and do that. Make decisions right before you do something, not far in advance. Now, by the way, I was actually listening to. I'm a big fan of David Senra, even though I keep saying his hands are shaking because I think he's going so fast and he doesn't have grounding. But doesn't make me. I'm not disrespecting him. I've learned a lot from him, and I'm very grateful for him. And I was listening to his podcast, re-listening to his podcast about 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and he actually starts. I think that's the way he starts, but the point I'm trying to give off is that Steve Jobs actually would say long-term plans are undervalued. And I think it was he quoted Napoleon as well. It's like if you plan it through well, you're gonna win. It's not luck. purpose, make a dent in the universe. To do great work, you need to feel that you're making a difference, that you're putting a meaningful dent in the universe, that you're a part of something important. This makes my life better. You want to feel that if you stop doing what you do, people would notice. David Senra talks about this as well. It's just amazing how all of these ideas are the same. Like, these are the same ideas, and it's fascinating. It's like I'm downloading them into my subconscious. You should feel an urgency about this too. You don't have forever. This is your life's work. Do you want to build just another Me Too product, or do you want to shake things up? What you do is your legacy. Now, if you're going to do something, do something that matters. Now, I mean, I really doubt it that I'm not even trying to be better than David Senra, and probably I won't be as good as David Senra in reading. He's already read 400 books about history's greatest founders and so on. And but I might be able to add some value. And but I also realized, like, in the past 2 episodes where I reread Carlos Castañeda and I read the Smoke Signals, a book about the social history about cannabis. And I realized I've had thousands of ceremonies. I've lived with the indigenous peoples in the rainforest and traveled around the world with them. And I'm like, well, probably not a lot of people are going to do that. And probably not, and like David Senra talks about Charlie Munger. I have this guy called Yawa. He was 106 years old. He passed away 4 months after I met him. So it just makes me think. And I have a deep passion I just like the spiritual thing. I just love it. I would like to grow my own cannabis one day. I would love to give advice to fellow founders, but I would also like to build my own business. Yeah, okay, let's continue. Scratch your own itch. The easiest, most straightforward way to create a great product or service is to make something you want to use. If you're solving someone else's problem, you're constantly stabbing in the dark. It made me think, there's actually a few different ways of going about this. Scratch your own itch, solve your own problem. But Elon Musk had a different approach to his businesses. I think he's known for saying that when he was in college, he thought deeply about what's going to affect the future in the next 10 to 20 years. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing is well, James Dyson also, he kind of like scratched his own itch, but then there's Mark Pincus, who's been saying, like, well, how about it's proven, better, and new. So that's another way of doing things. It's like there's actually a lot of ways of doing stuff. Now, best of all, this solve your own problem approach lets you fall in love with what you're making. After all, you'll be working on this for years to come, maybe even for the rest of your life. Might be true. I just noticed I do a lot of I actually do a lot of reading about, like, I'm trying to come up with, like, what am I going to build, and this is one great project. And by the way, on another note, I'm applying to study mechatronics. It's a 4-year course, but it's going to give me a foundational knowledge in engineering and electronics and so on. And I'm really into coding and blockchain and spirituality, as I've said before, and so on. So make stuff. I'm making this video, even though I'm not sure if I have to do it, but you see, like, yeah, and this is my constraint. I'm gonna do it fast. Maybe someone's gonna catch on to this, maybe not. But I get a lot of enjoyment talking on camera. So anyway, think your idea is valuable. Now then, go and try to sell it and see what you get for it. Get a hold of a camera and some film and make a movie of any kind at all. Kubrick knew that when you're new at something, you need to start creating. The most important thing is to begin. 100%. I've been putting on, like, I've been ruminating, and I've had the space to ruminate. I've been financially taken care of by my parents, by my mom. It's not like an amazing life, but I mean, I have a roof over my head, and I'm not hungry, you know. And I've been doing like odd jobs here and there, but I've never thought about it before that I want to work on something like do my life's work, and play long-term games, infinite games with people I want to play long-term games with, you know. No time is no excuse. Like today, I read the book today, and I'm doing this episode today. Maybe the quality isn't the best, but I don't think it's that bad either. Once you do that, you'll learn whether the excitement and interest is real or just a passing phase. If it doesn't pan out, you just keep on going to work every day like you've been doing all along. Don't let yourself off the hook with excuses. It's entirely your responsibility to make your dreams come true. Yeah, pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm actually really excited about doing this episode today. Now, draw a line in the sand. Great businesses have a point of view, not just a product or a service. You have to believe in something. You need to have a backbone. You need to know what you're willing to fight for, and then you need to show the world. A strong stand is how you attract superfans. They point to you and defend you 100%. Look at Elon Musk. There's so much people on X who are like big super fans of Elon Musk. I'm one of them, and most of the times they support him. But that's a different story. I'm not happy but I understand him. I mean, like the stuff that's going on in Palestine is horrific and it's sad, and I understand why he can take a word for it, but I can, and I'm not happy what Israel is doing, but it is what it is. Let's go. When you don't know. Oh, and Elon Musk has been taking a stand against Jeff Bezos. He's been making fun of Jeff Bezos. He's been making fun of Mark Zuckerberg and so on, and a lot of the European leaders, and people love him for it, and he's actually correct in criticizing what's happening in Europe. When you don't know what you believe, everything becomes an argument. Everything is debatable. But when you stand for something, decisions are obvious. Yeah. For example, Whole Foods stands for something for selling the highest quality, natural, organic products available. They don't waste time deciding over and over again what's appropriate. I've been in this loop deciding over and over again, and it's such a waste of time. But it comes from. But I understand as well. It comes from. Well, it comes from just stirring up a lot of stuff, just putting in energy into like, you know, health, family, and just ideas, and just and like I've been doing a lot of stuff, and I've had a lot of confusion from that, and I'm still doing it in that sense. I'm doing this episode. I'm thinking about going to study mechatronics, and also I'm like, yeah, well, I really want to build something digital, learn tokens, AI, coding, marketing, blockchain, crypto, and all of that. Okay, let's go. Retain control, but they say it outside money is plan Z, and David Senra talks about this. A lot of found Jeff Bezos is retaining control, Mark Zuckerberg is retaining control in Dyson, MailChimp, and MailChimp also. These guys, they bootstrapped their way to a 12 billion offer. Imagine creating that much value. That's amazing. But in fact, no matter what kind of business you're starting, take on as little outside cash as you can. You give up, because if spending other people's money may sound great, but there's a noose attached. Here's why. You give up control. Cashing out begins to trump building a quality business. Spending other people's money is addictive. It's usually a bad deal. Customers move down the totem pole because investors want to get their money back. Raising money is incredibly distracting. 100%. Cost control. You need less than you think. Do you really need 10 people, or will 2 or 3 do for now? Do you really need 6 months, or you can make something in 2? It's a mind, and maybe I'm kind of like getting distracted here, but it's a mindset thing. And belief comes before ability is what David Senra would say. And if I wouldn't have told myself today that I'm gonna read the book today, and I'm gonna do the episode today. By the way, during the day I've had a multiple. I've been going through this, or this thought has run past my mind a few times where I'm like, maybe I'm not gonna have the time to do it today, but somehow I did, because I reread it, was able to take notes. I've kind of gained confidence in doing this because it's my fourth episode, which isn't that much, but I've had like a lot of time talking on camera because I just like doing it. Start a business, not a startup. The startup. It's a special breed of company that gets a lot of attention, especially in the tech world. The startup is a magical place. It's a place where expenses are someone else's problem. It's a place where that pesky thing called revenue is never an issue. It's a place where you can spend other people's money until you figure out a way to make your own. It's a place where the laws of business physics don't apply. A business with the path to profit isn't a business, it's a hobby. Actual businesses deal with things like bills and payroll 100%. And it's probably because of my because of my upbringing, and there's a lot of, like, I don't know, family dynamics go behind it as well, because I was an only son and my mom was attached to me. I was attached to her, and I grew up without having to think about money. Like, I didn't speak the language of money. I didn't live the language of money. I was just given money, just go eat and survive. And I wasn't ambitious. My ambition was dulled because she wanted to keep me under control. And this is how I've lived my life. And now I'm learning what it is. I'm learning the value of a dollar. And I think that's important. It's a completely different worldview. And so whatever you do, get paid for your work as well. Building to flip is building to flop. You should be thinking about how to make your project grow and succeed, not how you're going to jump ship. Your whole strategy is based on leaving. Chances are you won't get far in the first place. You should be thinking about your projects as life's work. Long term, as I said, long term, maybe infinite games. And this is, like, for example, as I've said this before, this project, I could work on this project forever. There's so many interesting books that I want to read, and I could be making these episodes every week, every 2 weeks, every month for the rest of my life. Maybe this is my life's work. Business/spirituality and psychology, Embrace constraints. I don't have enough time, money, and people experience. Stop whining. Less is a good thing. Constraints are advantages in disguise. Limited resources force you to make do with what you've got. There's no room for waste, and that forces you to be creative. Writers like Ernest Hemingway and Raymond Carver found that forcing themselves to use simple, clear language helped them deliver maximum impact. And they talk about writing as well. Writing is super important, and I'm kind of winging it with this episode. Not trying to be disrespectful to anyone. I'm actually feeling like this. I'm in a good flow with this one. All that means lower costs and business that's easier to run. They made it easy on themselves. He's talking about Southwest Airlines. They just got one airplane, one Boeing 737s. So each Southwest pilot and attendant and ground crew member can work any flight. Constraints, simplicity. Okay. And he brings up their own example as well. They have more resources and people than they've ever had, and they still try to make sure they have only 1 or 2 people working on a product at a time. Pretty cool. Take action. Making the call is making progress. Whenever you can swap, let's think about it. Let's decide on it. Exactly with this project here today. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm here hanging out with my dog, with one of my dogs, and she's running around today. So I'm just like here in the forest making an episode and hanging out with my dog. Okay, whenever you can, let's think about it. Yeah, okay. Decide and move forward. It doesn't matter how much you plan, you'll still get some stuff wrong anyway. Don't make things worse by overanalyzing and delaying before you ever get going. Okay. Throw less at the problem. Simplify. Oh, he talks about Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares, and you'll see a pattern. The menus at failing restaurants offer too many dishes. The owners think making every dish under the sun will broaden the appeal of the restaurant. Instead it makes for crappy food. Yeah, that's where Ramsay's first step is nearly always to trim the menu, and usually from 30 plates to 10. When things aren't working, the natural inclination is to throw more at the problem. More people, more time, more money, and that ends up making the problem bigger. The right way is to go the opposite direction. Cut back, do less. If you start pushing back deadlines, increasing your budget, you'll never stop. I've experienced this firsthand. I don't know, the flies came out because I'm here, moving life force. Yeah, makes me think. It even makes me think. So I have this project going, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking of maybe even going studying, but I want to study the fundamentals, and this is where like belief comes before results. And I've never believed that I'm going to be successful because of a lot of, well, it was because of my upbringing. I'm not blaming them, but it was their fault, and it kind of ruined my mindset and self-belief, and that's a thing actually. So that's what I want to go study. Maybe it's the wrong thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe I should be making more of these projects and more coding and doing stuff online. But knowing how robots work, I think that's pretty cool. Let's go. Focus on what won't change. Yeah, Jeff Bezos talks about this. What's permanent? What will people want in 10 years? Do you think they're gonna want to have slower software? Do you think they want to have less books on Amazon? Probably not. I think people still want to have all access to all the books on Amazon and still have good internet, and fast internet services, and fast software. Reasons to quit. It's easy to put your head down and just work on what you think needs to be done. It's a lot harder to pull your head up and ask why. Here are some important questions to ask yourself to ensure you're doing work that matters. That's actually good. And this is even like, I've been just kind of speed running life, because my main principle has been just keep going, move energy, move life force, just go, 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 go. And just probably just, I don't know. You know, I've been hanging around in ceremonies and feeling this fast-paced peyote. Dun, 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 dun. In peyote ceremonies, they do this like drumming, you know, and it's like, they say it's the heartbeat of like the earth, and it's boom, 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 and I felt it so much. I'm like, I want to keep it going. Anyway, why are you doing this? Why am I doing this? I like reading books. I like sharing it with you. Maybe I'm gonna meet awesome people online. Maybe it's gonna give me more opportunities. Maybe I'm building an audience. Maybe all the above. What problem am I solving? Is this actually useful? Well, this is useful for me. Am I adding value? Maybe. Maybe you don't want to read the book. Maybe you're gonna get some value added from, or maybe you're gonna see how spirituality and psychedelics and business can go together in psychology. Will this change behavior? Is there an easier way? What could you be doing instead? Great questions. Is it really worth it? Keep asking yourself and others the questions listed above. You don't need to make it a formal process, but don't let it slide either. Also, don't be timid about your conclusions. Sometimes abandoning what you're working on is the right move. Even if you're already put in a lot of effort, don't throw good time after bad work. I think there was also Peter Drucker or someone said like, don't be afraid of giving up the good to go for the great. And feel so. And maybe this is my last episode reading these books, but I already have a maths and physics book here that I want to read and I want to study. Deep work. Interruption is the enemy of productivity. So when you don't have to mind shift between various tasks, you get a boatload done. Work, even ever notice how much work you get done on a plane since you're offline and there's zero distractions? 100%. So there's this makers versus managers schedule, and they all talk like you need at least like a few hours, 4 hours, maybe even more, but 4 hours is pretty good. That's why a lot of the leaders wake up like at 4 in the morning so they can work out, get their energy up, and then they get undistracted time. So because otherwise, if you're kind of like mind shifting, your context switching takes a lot of energy, and yeah, just like and really, if you like give yourself 15 minutes there and 15 minutes there and like 30, 45, it's not enough. Like you need long uninterrupted periods of time to actually get something meaningful done. You need to give your mind some space to think. Momentum, quick wins. The way you build momentum is by getting something done and then moving on to the next thing. No one likes to be stuck on an endless project with no finish line in sight. To keep your momentum and motivation up, get in the habit of accomplishing small victories along the way. Even a tiny improvement can give you a good jolt of momentum. The longer something takes, the less likely it is that you're going to finish it. Yeah. Keep going. Momentum. I've been working out every day for maybe a year now. I've been working out before that as well, but I've been working out consistently, daily for a year, and I never want to stop, even if it's like 20 minutes sometimes, because I'm like, my body needs to, I'm feeling tired, I'm like, just a little bit, push yourself a little bit, and you're like, and eventually it's such a habit. I find myself, it's such a habit that when I'm these flies, they weren't here before, like working out daily is such it's a small win. It's a small win every day. I'm like, I got it, keep on going, and it's such a cool thing, because like sometimes I'm like, instead of like when there's like time to kill, or I'm waiting for like, I don't know, like a doctor's appointment, I would like do how do you call them, squats. I would do squats outside the doctor's office, because I'm like, I don't care what people think of me. I wanna get my squats in, I wanna get it. I wanna do that. Okay, so I'm jumping some of these chapters, but these are the ones that resonated with me, Actually, the whole book is cool, and these people are cool. I'm really inspired by them. But anyway, decommoditize your product. If you're successful, people will try to copy what you do. It's just a fact of life. People try to imitate me here in the village. Everything is so fast and so blah, 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 It's like this peyote, dum dum bum 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 bum. And also, when I used to have ice cream stands in the old town here in Estonia, in Tallinn, when I was 18, I remember like the following years, everyone wanted like people who like somehow knew me and my partner from somewhere. They're like, oh, now we're gonna start ice cream stands as well. People monkey see, monkey do, and that's actually like Elon Musk. People talk about this. Like people want to, like, people don't think from first principles. They imitate others, and this is actually if I did construct this, I'm like, well, why am I doing this? Because I'm doing it because David Senra was doing his episodes. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I like speaking. I like spirituality. I like business, and I want to build an audience. I want to connect with people online. I want to build a network of people. And but I also like spirituality and shamanism and plant medicines and all of that. So, and this is what you're talking yourself. Pour yourself into your product and everything around your product too. How you sell it, how you support it, how you explain it, and how you deliver it. competitors can never copy the you in your product. If you're successful, yeah, but there's great, yeah, make yourself a part of the product and or the service. And well, how can I do this? I can read these books. I'm an Estonian. English is my third language. I'm quarter Estonian, Jewish, Russian, Tatar, but English is like my third language. No one from Estonia is going to speak English. Maybe people are, but I mean, I have my specific accent, but that's a small thing. I like being me. I'm very talkative, but there's not a lot of people. There's probably not a lot of people who have made so many episodes. Pew, pew, see ya. Oh, now the dog. People riding the bike. That was wild. Cool. Hey, Tohi. But there's not a lot of people who have had so many experiences with different plant medicines, and probably not even like, I don't know. I actually like, honestly, I've never met anyone who's mixed together 6 plants at a ceremony, and I've talked about this before. So, and my worldview and philosophy, yeah, it's pretty wild. There's not a lot of people like that. Maybe not, none, you know. It was the first time in human history when all of these plants can converge, like ayahuasca, peyote, cannabis, magic mushrooms, tobacco snuff, LSD. You know, like there wasn't a lot of people who I mean, like, yeah, these plants come from different corners of the world, and it's never been like that, you know. So yeah. Pretty cool. And that's how I'm pouring myself into this product. I mean, this is me. This is who I am. And it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of integrity. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of telling people to F off who disrespect me. I'm like, bro, I mean, I have to kind of keep this word and discipline because God willed me to do it. That's how I see it. Anyway, build an audience. All companies have customers. Lucky companies have fans, but the most fortunate companies have audiences. An audience can be your secret weapon. Maybe this is exactly what I'm doing. Instead of going out to reach people, you want people to come to you. An audience returns often on its own to see what you have to say. 100%. I mean, I'm a big fan of DHH. I have nothing against Jason Fried, who's the CEO, but for some reason I don't know, I'm called to DHH. I've been fortunate enough to exchange a few emails with him. He's given me advice. I had this curiosity about coding, and I'm kind of still thinking, man, these like text editors, I'm like, dude, I'm text editor, wow. I would feel like, there's something there that's the path I should have to go. Yeah. Because this enlightenment and spirituality, it created a lot of stuff I had to work through. Still working through that stuff. But I also still go to David Senra's episodes. I like them. I like learning from them. When you build an audience, you don't have to buy people's attention. They give it to you. This is a huge advantage. So build an audience. Speak, write, blog, tweet, videos, whatever. Share information that's valuable, and you'll slowly but surely build a loyal audience. Maybe this is one way. And one way to build an audience is to outteach your competition. Instead of trying to outspend, outsell, or outsponsor competitors, try to outteach them. Teaching probably isn't something your competitors are even think about. Most businesses focus on selling or servicing, but teaching never occurs to them. Teach them and you'll form a bond you just don't get from traditional marketing tactics. Teaching is something individuals and small companies can do that bigger competitors can't. Big companies can afford a Super Bowl ad, you can, but you can't afford to teach. And that's something you'll never do. Because big companies are obsessed with secrecy. And that's true. Writing. Hire great writers. If you're trying to decide among the few people to fill a position, hire the best writer. It doesn't matter if that person is a marketer, salesperson, designer, programmer, or whatever. Their writing skills will pay off. That's because being a good writer is about more than writing. Clear writing is a sign of clear thinking. Great writers know how to communicate. They make things easy to understand. They can put themselves in someone else's shoes. They know what to omit, and those are qualities you want in any candidate. Writing is today's currency for good ideas, 100%. Benjamin Franklin was a huge... writing has helped me a lot. Maybe I should have written more, but it is what it is. I like writing a lot, and it's cool. Culture, talk about culture. I think it was David Senra. I don't know where he quoted it from, but he's like, you don't create culture. Every company has a culture. Yeah, everyone has their own vibe, you know. You don't create your vibe, but you can create yourself. But that's another topic. And even this project is an example of like me. I'm creating myself. We're all creating ourselves. It's not finding ourselves, but there's also finding stuff that you like, resonate. I'm saying I like making videos more than I like writing threads on Twitter, you know. Inspiration is perishable. We all have ideas. Ideas are immortal. They last forever. What doesn't last forever is inspiration. Inspiration is like fresh fruit or milk. It has an expiration date. If you want to do something, you got to do it now. And that's where I want to end this book. Go out there. Do the stuff you want to do. Believe in yourself. Never give up. Yoo-hoo!